Welcome back now here on Ireland Down. We have chefs Paris, all sorts of fancy dishes for us every day of the week, really.
We sure do, but today we are going to try, well, no different today. We're trying something a little bit different. We're going to make our own grub for a change. Simon O'Connell is here. Good morning to you, Simon.
Hi guys, how are you?
Well, you're going to start it off for us, aren't you? We're going to finish it.
And then you're going to have a competition to see who makes the prettiest one at the end of it.
Okay, well, what are we having?
So we're going to do a chocolate Orange Tart with some like orange flavour, like a chocolate orange kind of thing.
Oh, lovely.
And it's like dessert is kind of a complicated one for some people. Some people think it's like magic and they haven't got a clue how it works, and it's like science to some people. I'm kind of the guy that doesn't really know how it works, but this is kind of like a pared down version of the one that we do in the restaurant.
It just comes together.
So it comes together. It's really easy. So anybody can do it. It's really easy to do.
Perfect.
So there's only a few ingredients, but they're nice ingredients. So first of all, what we've got cream in a pan here, and we're just heating up the cream slowly, and we're going to add that into our chocolate, and we're going to let it all melt together. So we don't want the cream to boil. We just want it to simmer and get to a nice heat, because when you boil cream, it changes the texture of it slightly.
Yeah.
So it's in there, and it's just heated up. So that's nice and hot, and it's hot enough now that we can pour it over our chocolate. So we got our chocolate here.
So you just need it at the temperature to melt the chocolate.
That's
basically.
it. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And you don't want to kind of cook the chocolate. You don't want to add the chocolate into the heat. You want it off the heat, and you want it all to come together that way, because again, it changes the texture slightly.
And why would you not just have normal melted chocolate? Do you know the way you melt chocolate? What's the milk or the cream doing?
Well, the cream. So this dessert is for a delice, so it's kind of like a set chocolate. Okay. And with the cream in it, like there's fat in the cream, and when mixed with the chocolate, it'll start to come together. So when you put it in the fridge for a few hours, it'll be nice and thick, like nearly like a Mars bar kind of that sort of texture.
Lovely.
You know?
Okay.
So you can see it's all coming together here.
And you're mixing it very slowly,
yeah,
almost.
just want to put it all together. I was worried that I'd have to fight this away from you, but
yeah, well, I'd love a spoon to taste it, right?
And what chocolate buttons did you use there?
So these are just kind of the normal chocolate that you get in the shop, cooking chocolate. It's about 20% cocoa, and it's milk chocolate. So you can see, look, already it's coming together like that. So what we want to do is we want to add some flavours into this. So you could do anything: strawberry, lemon. You could have some chili into it, even something like that. But we're going to go with a bit of orange. So like I say, it's like a chocolate orange. So we got some orange essence, and we're just going to put a small drop in, not a huge amount, just small, because it's full of flavour. We'll mix all that around.
And will you put any kind of rind or anything?
Yeah, so I have that here as well. So
or would you squeeze? Would you cut it, an orange?
Yeah,
and
you could squeeze them into it, but because it's going to set in the fridge, it's nicer to have the kind of, if you put the fresh flavour in that, it kind of, it'll go away a little bit. So the essence is kind of what you want to use. Okay. So see, we've got the zest from the orange here.
Is that kind of one orange?
That's 2.5 oranges there.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Right, okay, right bit then. Okay.
And then we just mix that in slowly like that.
So very glossy.
It's a chocolate orange.
Chocolate orange.
Yum.
So this will set in the fridge, but it's really kind of, it's a simple one, but you can add the different bits and pieces to it just to make it that little bit more interesting for you. You can have it just as it is, but just like that is perfect. So,
and the tarts then that you have,
so this
you buy them ready-made, do you?
Buy these ready-made. Why would you go, if you're at home and you've guests coming over, or you're making it for the kids, or you're doing it yourself, you don't have to go to the hassle of making pastry. Buy these. They're just as good. They taste exactly the same, and they're really nice, and they're easy to get. If you want to make the pastry, go ahead and do it, but this is just kind of a nice and easy way to do it, you know.
And so, what have you lined it with something?
We just brush the inside of them with a little bit of butter, that's all.
Okay.
So I'm going to pop this in here.
Why is that? Sorry, Karen.
I can't get a word in. You have so many questions.
You're just lining the chocolate. That's what you're looking at.
But why do you have butter? Like, why? What's? Because it's obviously normally you put butter to get something out.
It's just that extra kind of little bit of fat that's in there with it. Okay. Helps it set and kind of makes it's cream, butter. What more do you want? It's that kind of stuff. You know. So what we do is.
Come on, Karen. What was your class question?
Something very interesting. I was going to say, actually. For Easter Sunday, this could be an easy dessert to eat, because for me, definitely dessert is kind of an afterthought.
And what you
might
could do,
throw a few cheeses out, but I wouldn't think of this.
You could get a bigger one, and you can make a big one and then cut it up at the table.
Yeah.
But these are nice. If you've got kids and you want them to decorate the stuff, or you get them involved, they can do this.
You're right. This is dead handy, isn't it?
It's really
chocolate
simple.
Milk with a bit of flavouring.
Now, a lot of the recipes will have kind of eggs in it or gelatin, but you don't actually need that, because there's enough fat in the cream to set it. So there we go. So we pop this into the fridge. Right. It's going to go into the fridge.
We've a minute left now, so when does our competition begin?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay,
look at that.
Lovely.
Right.
And you guys
them in
are
there
going to
to set?
So about 8 hours.
Okay.
And we're going to do a little quick crumb with it.
Look
so
good, don't they?
some pistachio and hazelnuts.
Yeah, I know, the temptation is just to stick your finger in it.
Very soft. It is like Mars barsy, isn't it?
Bit of toast.
Lovely. That's pistachio and a few hazelnuts.
Pistachio and hazelnut. And you guys
So can we get started already?
Yeah. So if you want to put this stuff on first here.
Okay. I'll go with a
I'll
little
just tap it over the
dusting.
top, dust it
So
over
a
the
little
top.
bit in and then...
Yeah, and then dust it away. And that'll just give it a nice extra kind of flavour.
Can I just have the pistachios on their own?
Okay,
Yeah, you
put way
can,
too
yeah.
much in here now,
Yeah.
sorry.
There you go.
Oh my God.
And
All right.
there's a bit. So, like, the kids
Lovely.
love that. Just the way you are, Tommy. They'll all have the crack when they're putting it all
Exactly.
together. So, nice and simple.
Nice.
And it's so little to it. And you could make 10 or 20 of them easy enough, do you know?
That's cute. Your face.
You
I was
made
going to do a
smiley face.
boob because we're talking boob barb later on. I should have actually just done a boob. Gorgeous.
Ta-da! Right.
And there's it.
What do you reckon, Sam?
I think the smiley face has to take it.
Simon, ganging up on me.
Love it, love it.
Gorgeous.
What's it called?
So it's a chocolate orange delice tart.
Beautiful.
Wowie. And do you
you go.
do these in the restaurant as
We
well,
do,
you?
yeah. We
Wait,
do.
what's the restaurant name out in the Hoof?
It's the Pier House.
The Pier House.
Yeah.
Simon O'Connell, thanks so much for
Thank
that.
you.
It's beautiful.
Right after the break, it's over to Derek, who is down in Rathgard this morning.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
He'll be sharing the inspiring story behind one local community group after the break.
Ah.